call this meeting of the RMLD Board of Commissioners to order at this point. The RMLD Board of Commissioners recognizes the importance of hearing public comment, discretion of the chair on items of the agenda. Once recognized by the chair, all persons addressing the board shall state their name, address prior to speaking. It is the role of the chair to maintain order in all public and ensuing discussion. This meeting is being audio recorded held remotely on the Zoom and live streamed on RCTV. We have two members participating remotely, so we ask that if they state their name now at this point. I don't mind, we have to take all votes by roll call because of the two members. So the two members, why don't you state your names for the record? We're on the Zoom.
Okay.
Either one.
Robert, go ahead, Dave.
Dave Talbot is here.
Okay.
Robert Coulter is here.
Okay. Very good. That's for the record. All right. So we got the reorganization. I think we pretty much discussed this last meeting, so I don't know if anybody got any questions at this point. If not, we'll just move into the nomination. So I'm looking for a nomination for the chair for the RMLD board for the next year. Bob?
I'd like to nominate Dave Talbot as the chair and Phil Pacino as the vice chair.
Okay. We'll take one motion at a time. First motion is to nominate Dave as the new chair. Is that seconded?
Question.
What?
In policy 19, which you can waive if you'd like, it says that whoever is in an election year, upcoming election year, cannot serve as chair. So Dave, you're up in 2025 and so is Bob.
Right. So at the last meeting, we rescinded that.
Well, can I just make a clarification that we didn't rescind it. We said that it actually wasn't written in policy 19.
Right.
So it actually is. So if we are going to make the choice to do that, then I think we need to agree. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. So we need to
I have a thought on that because I saw the email, which is it says in the election year, which is 2025. I know what the meaning of it is. So if you went forward with this, you could if we want to, we could change the policy, or just you could reorganize in December so that it wouldn't be in the year of the election. I'm just suggesting a way to do it in the spirit of what the conversation was last meeting, if my colleagues agree.
Can I, being new, what was the intent behind that rule? Can anybody speak to that?
It was copied from the Board of Selectmen. The intent is that should the person who's chair not either seek re-election or not win re-election, there would not be a void in leadership. That was the intent.
In that event, let's say somebody was not re-elected at the reorganization meeting, wouldn't the vice chair just take that role?
That's right.
Okay. So there wouldn't really it wouldn't be a void necessarily.
Yep. Okay. All right. Do we want to go forward, or what do we want to do? Want to go forward at this point? Because we have a nomination on the floor for Dave to be the new chair. I haven't got anybody second that.
I'll second.
Okay, the second and moved. So the motion is moved to elect Dave Talbot as new chair of the RMLD Board of Commissioners to be effective immediately after the vote. Okay. Okay, so discussion? See none? We're not going to call Dave a bad guy. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Then we can go to the roll call. We do it by Dave, you go first, seniority.
Sure, I'll go with a yes on that.
Okay. Bob?
Yes.
Bob, you're next. Okay.
Yes.
Pam?
Yeah.
Me? Ray Porter, yes. And Phil Pacino, yes. So Dave, you are now the chair.
Okay. Well, thanks everybody. And if there's anything that we want to neaten up as to the policy, let's bring it forward to Greg, and we can get it on the agenda for the next meeting. So that, because it raised some good points there. We want to make sure everybody's happy with it. Also,
we're going to look at policy 19, probably maybe either in the May or June meeting, because there's a lot. So we'll add this to it.
Okay. So if there's something to clean up, or if any of the members of the public want to weigh in, that would be great. So now, we will move to open up nominations for vice chair. Are there any nominations? There will be no vice chair. I will appoint myself vice chair and general manager. No.
I thought I heard Bob nominate.
I thought we did just elect a vice
You
chair.
know, I'm kidding, Bob. No, because technically the way we do it is we do the chair and then the chair. Now I'm chair. Now I open up the vice chair. So yeah, I'm kidding. But you want to go ahead?
I nominate Phil Pacino for vice chair.
Okay, do we have a second?
Seconded.
Phil has seconded that. Any discussion on that role or any discussion on the nomination? Yeah, a couple of new members are new to this.
So, you're not up in 2025, right? So if
2025.
Dave didn't succeed, you would still be available as vice
Yeah.
chair and could fill it.
Right.
There would be no gap. Okay.
So, sorry. You're both up in
We're both
2025.
up in 2025. but
So
Oh.
technically both. Who knows, right?
Then there'd be a reorg after.
Theory-
Yeah.
Right, in theory,
Well-
there could be no chair or vice chair.
That was where my question was going.
Right.
Okay, so
But I think
we
in
don't
that
have-
case, potentially Bob would potentially be the one to step up in that case. To fill the void. I mean, we need to look at
That's the-
policy.
That it would flow to the most senior person
It's
after
the
that.
most senior person at that point.
There'd be a reorganization vote of the new members. There'd be 2 new members, there'd be 5. And those new members would choose among themselves, the new chair and vice chair.
And the meeting could take place right after the election. It didn't need to be delayed. You know, we could take it, but then once the election is certified, we could do it the next day. So,
well, after the election certified, yes.
So, just to clarify though, because we did have one meeting after the election this year we chose not to reorganize in that meeting.
yeah, because I chose not because I wanted to discuss the policy. Were we changing the policy? I didn't want to go in and, you know, we're kind of in a unique position because you've got 2 new members, basically 2 new members. 2 members who are up for re-election. We got 1 member, you know, 1 continuing member. So I just felt the discussion should be, and while the hoopla that went downtown, I think we needed to make sure that we're in firm policy, we're on firm ground. Firm ground. That was the intent. I mean, had I known we weren't going to have so much discussion, you know, I probably would have reorganized it at that meeting. I put that meeting.
I guess my question around this is just, you know, we haven't changed the policy. We're choosing to waive the policy for the purposes of the chair.
Yeah, well, we could.
I'm sure, of course, anybody would do a great job. I'm just thinking in terms of the consistency against the policy.
The policy pertain, I'm sorry, Pam, go finish what you were saying. I didn't mean to.
Would it be worthwhile for us to nominate someone like Bob to be the vice chair because Bob is not up for re-election? And so there would be no risk to not have a chair or a vice chair.
Well, I think my quick reaction to that is that the policy pertains to who the chair is. The policy is silent as to the vice chair.
Right.
So
Leave the policy of the chair in the understanding that a vice chair could step in if the chair was not reelected and has a leadership void, but then there's the risk that we also then have a vice chair who is not available.
yeah, and when that happens, if it happens, it's not like it is possible for 5 new members to choose among themselves a chair, even if none of them are currently in that position. That does happen from time to time on elected boards.
Senior member would step up at that following meeting to kind of run that.
Yep.
And that's in the policy. Page 3.
I think we have a general consensus, and maybe if we discuss policy 19 at our next meeting, would that be satisfactory to you, Pam, that we change it immediately, upon our next meeting?
Yeah, I think we have a path forward if in the unlikely or, who knows if it's unlikely or not, but we have a path so that there isn't a leadership void. I think it warrants more discussion on whether it does make sense to permanently rescind the policy or not, but
Yeah.
I would moving forward with the nomination as presented.
Okay. All right, are we, with that, are we ready for a vote?
Yep.
Yep, okay. Is this a roll call? Somebody,
Mr. Pacino, Mr. Coates, you go next.
Bob,
Um,
you're voting, yes, Bob?
yeah,
Okay, and then Dave last.
Pam Daskalakis, aye.
Ray Porter, I.
Dave Talbot, aye. So that motion carries 5-0. So that was it. That's it for what's on the agenda, correct?
No, we got the appointment to the audit committee.
Oh, right. Excuse me.
Basically, Mr. Chair, can I speak?
Please.
Okay. Sorry. Gotta get used to being get used to being non-chair. So basically, I've served on the Town of Reading Audit Committee for a long time, so I'd like to continue to serve on that committee. And really, the subcommittee for the board is usually two members outside of myself who serve on that committee. And basically, what that does is the auditors come in and make a presentation each year. And basically, the presentation is made to the subcommittee first, and the subcommittee makes a recommendation to the board to either accept or not accept or make changes to the audit as presented. And that then goes up to the board itself, and the board hears that pretty much the same presentation, and the board either accepts or does not accept the audit at this point. In the town of Reading, the one difference in the town of Reading is that audit covers the entire town, all the town records. I think with being the CPA and being an auditor, I'm probably best to serve on that committee.
Dave, question for the group. The audit, what is the role of the sub-audit, the audit committee, Board of Commissioners sub-audit?
Yeah, so that basically is when the presentation is made, it's made to the sub-audit committee.
Okay,
That's the one who makes the original presentation. And that committee makes here's the list of the presentation and makes a recommendation to the full board whether to accept the audit or make changes
okay,
or not accept the audit too. That's always an option too.
Okay.
And we've done that, but
Awesome.
So normally that sub-audit committee meeting happens right before the board meeting and they get the same presentation.
Yep.
That subcommittee is the two board members you guys vote for and then the Town of Reading Audit Committee as well.
is there any communication between the sub-audit committee member and the
yes.
primary audit committee person?
Yeah, usually what happens is the entire board usually sits in on the subcommittee presentation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
We're all there. We're all there. So
got it, okay.
that's how it's going in the year. So
Seems redundant.
yeah, but,
So, do we need a motion to appoint Phil to the audit committee? Yes?
I can,
Town of Reading.
I can move that.
Okay, Pam moves that we appoint Phil to the audit committee. Do we have a second?
Second,
Okay, Ray seconds it. Any further discussion?
Just
No.
curious. how many years have you-
I think other members can be on the committee, correct, Phil?
Well, usually it's one member. It's usually one member.
Okay.
The way that the audit committee for the town side is a representative from each of the departments. The school department's representative, the different departments have representative. The finance committee chair is actually the chair of the Town of Reading Audit Committee. Because they represent nobody, they represent everybody.
But there are two other, we will do a separate motion. There are
Yes.
two other members that will be on the sub-audit committee.
Okay, so there's one on the audit committee and we have a motion and a second. Ready for a vote on that? Roll call.
Casino eye?
Coulter,
Mr. Coulter, aye.
Ray, Pam,
Pam Daskalakis, aye.
Ray Porter, I.
Dave Talbot, aye. So that's 5-0. Motion passes, carries. So now we want two members for the sub audit committee.
Here's the question, who wants to be on that?
Oh, I was just saying, if anybody else wants to be on it, not me, but, if anybody else wanted to be on it, they feel free. If anybody would like to be nominated, I will nominate them gladly. Now,
Well, you make it sound so exciting.
hey,
Put me in, coach, put me in.
Yeah, all right, right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be happy to have an opportunity to serve on that. I think it'd be, the reason I asked about the communication is it would be great to
Yep.
kind of learn your process, Phil, as you represent
Yep.
As the audit chair, so, or sorry, the member of the audit committee, so I could nominate myself, I
You
guess.
Nominate yourself. You just
I'll
nominated yourself.
nominate myself.
I'll second that if I'm allowed to. Am I allowed to second nominations still?
I'll nominate Pam Daskalakis to be a
You
subcommittee
nominated
member.
yourself, so you're seconding her nomination.
Second, yes.
Yeah, I second her motion.
How about Ray? Can we, you wanna be the other one, Ray?
I will be the second, sure.
So you're nominating yourself?
Nominating myself to join
Okay.
Pam on the esteemed sub-audit committee.
Yes. The vote for the esteemed audit committee is our next item on the agenda. Now we're just doing the audit. Sorry, okay, so Ray has nominated himself to join Pam on the sub audit committee. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second from, I thought I saw Phil. Okay, any further discussion? No, seeing none, ready for a vote? Who, are we voting on both? Phil says yes to, we already voted on Pam, right?
Oh, we did it.
Oh, sorry, okay. So we're voting on both Pam and Ray for sub audit committee. Apologies. I saw Phil vote yes.
Yes.
Okay, Bob,
Mr. Coulter, aye.
okay. Pam,
Daskalakis, aye.
Ray Porter, I.
Dave Talbot, aye. That's 5-0. Okay, so that's the end of our agenda, correct? Okay, thank you. And also just wanted to note before we, were you gonna say something, Greg?
No, let me just take one moment.
Yep.
Bill,
First chair of this committee in 1988. If you had told me that 35 years later, I'd be chair of this committee one more time, at the time, I would have told you were crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you that you're still gonna be the chair 35 years from now.
Well, you know, we got curtains back here. Maybe we can just set up a bed.
Can I also ask, how many years have you been audit committee member?
It's been about 11 at this point. So
Okay.
it's, you know, it's my business. It's my
Yeah.
business.
It's an accountant.
I hit them with things. I'm like, well, what about this?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. You know, we have good subject matter, distribution of subject matter knowledge on our board, you know, it's a really good board, I think. So, yeah, so, all right. So I guess that's about it. I think, just to note that Erica had sent around an email earlier today, just kind of reminding us of the different committees that have existed in the past. And so maybe for the next meeting, we can take a look at whether, given all the interesting things going on there, you know, whether or not there's a need to maybe think about having a committee to kind of look at some things. So I'll talk to Greg and put something on the agenda for next time to we can get into that. All right. Anything else, or we're all set, right? Yep.
Chair?
Anybody else? Yep.
I second.
Was that a motion to adjourn?
Yes, it was.
And
I
a
didn't hear it. Okay, we have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor of adjourning?
Mr. Simple,
Yep.
Aye.
Okay.
Mr. Coulter, aye.
Pam Daskalakis, aye.
Aye.
Ray Porter, I.
Yeah, Dave Talbot, aye. Okay, thanks, everybody. That concludes the meeting, 5-0, and we'll see you in a week and a half, or 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Congratulations. Congratulations all.
Yep. We all got a job except Bob. All right.
I'll get a job. I'll get a job.
All right. Good night, all.
Bye.
Night.
Good night.